Welcome back to Toronto. Always wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Wow, Joel, really, like you just keep getting better and better with everything you do. This was an outstanding performance.
Thank you.
Congratulations. John Connolly, I mean, how far did you have to dig to get into that mindset of his?
An FBI agent in Boston told me that John was a bit of a chameleon, that he was whoever he needed to be with whoever he was with, which is true of me as well. But when you're talking about a guy who navigated so many different worlds, and particularly the two strong ones of like law and lawless, it was an interesting experience. And the whole kind of house of cards crumbling aspect of the movie too created these sort of great scenes and these great combative sort of moments in the movie that was just such a gift as an actor, you know. So the research I did was whatever I could cobble together from footage I had of him and stories that were told to me.
What an incredible story. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
No, it's true, right? It's like truth is stranger than fiction.
It is
definitely
insane.
In this case.
Yeah, it is insane. I mean, you have Whitey, then you have his brother in politics, and then you've got, who's Connolly, who's working on both sides, and
yeah, lethal triangle of kind of men who all grew up in the same neighbourhood, who took on these weird, strange roles as adults and brothers and friends, and kicked aside the law for the sake of a very strong sense of loyalty.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing is stronger than the South Boston loyalty. Like what a family, like what a community. Did you find that you had to research into that kind of background as well?
Well, I think it was sort of dripping in from all the walls wherever you went in South Boston. I think it's part of all of our psyche. Whether it's just the microcosm of your family, or whether it's your church group, or whether it's your social group, or whether it's your religion or your culture, like people look after each other according to their affiliation with each other. And there's something about that town, that little space of earth, that their culture and their heritage and their family ties was so much more important than anything else.
Yeah. Tell me about working with Johnny Depp, especially in this capacity, what you guys have to go through. It's so hot and cold and just, oh my God, actor's dream.
Yeah. Well, I'd been a fan of Johnny's for such a long time, and the idea of working with him was fantastic, and particularly the idea of working with him on a movie that's part of like the real world. He's served up such fabulous kind of characters that are in such a colourful array of, smorgasbord of oddballs. And this is more in the Donnie Brasco spectrum, albeit there's still this sort of great mask, this sort of, the unsung heroes of actors' work really are the makeup artists and the costume people, because they help us create that. And Johnny knows that better than anybody else, but he also knows better than anybody else how to fill those shoes, how to fill that costume, and how to kind of create the essence of the character from the inside, not just the outside.
Yeah.
So that was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah. Do you ever, even no matter what you're doing now, does it ever still get a little nervous for you or intimidating for you, no matter who you work with?
No, I don't get scared about who I'm working with. I don't get like nervous as in like it affects the work in a negative way, because it's like, I see it as like, you go to have a game of tennis, and if we're going to play tennis and I find out you're terrible at tennis, I'm like, I don't really want to play with you, because, it's not going to be fun. But when you find out you're about to play tennis with someone who's better than you, it's like, this is going to be good. I'm going to learn something from this. So, I don't get terrified. I think I get more excited, and that makes for a much more interesting experience, I think.
Yeah, and then you look at the rest of this cast too, and just tell me a little bit briefly about working with somebody like Benedict Cumberbatch. Wow.
Benedict Cumberbatch is a very hard word to say. I went and saw Benedict in Hamlet on my way to Venice. Fantastic. I think the guy is excellent. I think Jesse Plemons, Rory Cochrane, Julianne Nicholson, Peter, Corey, I got served all of them, except Dakota's the only one I don't get served up in the movie. But I got to joust with every one of these fantastic actors, and that says a lot about Scott. Great director, but actors want to work with him, and he elicits really good performances out of people that we already know are good.
Yeah, oh yeah, no question about it
Yeah.
in this film for sure. And now that you're an accomplished director, so are you taking things, looking at things differently when you take roles? Is it hard for you now to pull back the director part of you?
No, I mean, I think I'll just be a better behaved actor when I'm on set for somebody else, knowing the challenges a director has to go through, knowing how challenging that chair is to sit in. And I'll also feel like light and relieved and excited just to go back to work as an actor without all that responsibility. So I feel like if I'm lucky now, as I move forward, I can have the best of both worlds. I definitely want to find another project to direct, but I'm happy also just being an actor.
Was it hard getting the Boston accent? You nailed it.
I had a tricky time getting the Boston accent. I was sort of really striving to be John rather than to be a Bostonian. I mean, there's, you know, I have recordings of John, there's footage of him, and so I know what he sounds like, and I was really, really striving for that, but it wasn't easy, and we, you know, you have a responsibility to get it right, and I was really like working hard to do that.
Yeah, well, you did a terrific job.
Thank you.
Joel, we're going to see you at the Oscars, my friend, so get that tux ready, okay? You're so great. I always love talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.